Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. Big news day. I want to talk about Elon Musk and his tweets about inflation as well as his crypto portfolio. He seems to be laying some sort of narrative here. And could that mean that inflation will continue to get worse? And will asset prices rise as a result, right? The more money printing they continue to do, and the more inflation increases, the more asset prices can go up. So I want to talk about that. Is Elon laying a narrative here? Also, we have very bullish news coming from many different politicians across the United States. We have Senator Cynthia Lummis has introduced her respective crypto bill, and I want to break down the details of that. We have Senator Cory Booker making a very bullish statement, talking about Bitcoin and crypto could be really great for the US economy. Remember what we've been talking about? We see the narrative being laid here. So I want to break all of that down. Even the mayor of Austin, Texas, has some bullish things to say about crypto. And we're going to talk about much more, the SEC and their hypocrisy with the library lawsuit. And there's some updates around the Ripple XRP lawsuit as well. Now, before we get there, please go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment below, and hit the subscribe button if you're new here. It helps support the channel and it doesn't cost you anything. If you're listening on a podcast site, please give me a 5-star rating. Guys, heads up, earlier today, I uploaded my interview with Monica Long, who's the general manager at RippleX, which is handing out XRPL grants for folks to build on the XRP ledger, and NFTs, CBDCs, stable coins, and so forth are being built on there. So be sure to check out that interview. I'll put a link in the description. Quick word from our sponsor, and that is iTrust Capital, which allows you to buy and sell crypto 24/7 in your retirement account. You can essentially invest in crypto with an IRA account. It's pretty awesome. It helps you to avoid a lot of the tax implications versus, if you're using a regular exchange and trading, buying and selling and so forth. So this is a really great service and program that they have to, once again, avoid a lot of the big tax implications. Now they have 25 plus cryptocurrencies. They have a mobile app. They have a really great support team who's ready and able to help you and answer any questions you may have. And they have really great security. They're using institutional grade crypto custody via Coinbase custody. And it is 100% free to sign up. You don't have to pay anything to sign up. And also there are no hidden fees. There's no monthly subscription or monthly fees. So it is free. You can go sign up, check it out, see if it's for you. If you use my respective link, which will be in the description, you get a $100 funding bonus. So be sure to check out iTrust Capital. Link will be in the description. Now, if we take a look at the market here, Bitcoin continues its sideways movements. Holy hell, it's so boring. I'm just like, please, Bitcoin, break out upwards so that you can go to your retracement. And then alt season can follow. Right now, it's at $39,000. So, I've been in the market for a long time, guys, since 2016. And, this is just boring. It's like nothing's happening. We just need Bitcoin to find its bottom and then move upwards. We'll see what happens at the close of this week. Right now, we're in the green, but it's all sideways movements at this point. Nothing really happening, guys. So we just got to be patient and let the market cycles play out. Now, there was a big vote in the EU Parliament about Bitcoin, about whether they were going to ban proof of work. Well, surprisingly, of course, they have not, or I should say, not surprisingly, they have not banned proof of work. And of course, guys, we've talked about this for so long. If you've been a subscriber or a listener on the podcast, we've talked about any country that bans crypto, whether it be Bitcoin or any other digital asset, they're writing their death sentence. This is the disruptive technology that is the future. And we have so many wealthy individuals holding it now, especially Bitcoin, that if they were to ban this, once again, writing a death sentence for their economy and jobs and so forth. And we're going to talk about what one senator had to say here in the United States. But a lot of this, I think, is just grandstanding and they're just, some people just pop out of nowhere and say, oh, let's ban this, and it's like, okay, whatever. At this point, I've seen it so many times. I know some of you who are new to the market, this may scare you a bit, which I understand, but if you've been here in the market for at least 3 years or so or longer, this is like, okay, whatever. We know this is not, they're not going to ban. And even if they do, they're going to have to backtrack sooner than later, because once again, they will be writing a death sentence to their economy. Now, this is interesting, my friends. Elon Musk, here's what he tweeted out yesterday. What are your thoughts about probable inflation rate over the next few years? He said Tesla and SpaceX are seeing significant recent inflation pressure in raw materials and logistics. He also shared a article from the Financial Times and saying we are not alone. Other companies are facing the same thing. Now, what's interesting, guys, he continues, and he was in a conversation with Michael Saylor on that thread, and then he highlighted something which I found very interesting. Let me make sure I get it here for you guys in his tweet thread, where he said he's not selling any of his crypto. He says, as a general principle, for those looking for advice from this thread, it is generally better to own physical things like a home or stock in companies you think make good products than dollars when inflation is high. What does he mean by that? As we've been talking about for 3 years now, when it started with Paul Tudor Jones, all the money printing they've done in the pandemic, right? They printed more money than they've ever did in the history of the United States. You can't just do that. Guess what's going to happen? Inflation. And we're seeing it right now. Now they're blaming it on Russia. They're blaming it on Putin. But those of us who are financially literate and understand monetary policy, we know the inflation started way before this situation, right? Now, and they were like, oh, it's transitory. Oh, it's this and that. They were making all kinds of excuses. Now they're blaming it on Putin. Now, don't get me wrong. The Russia invasion on Ukraine, starting a conflict there, of course, that's going to make things worse. But it wasn't the root cause of inflation, right? I think, once again, we know this because we've been studying it and watching it. That is why Paul Tudor Jones came out in 2020, wrote a letter saying, I'm taking a bet on Bitcoin. It's the fastest horse in the race. And because of how faster and how much money they're printing and how fast they're doing it, I have to go in with something that is moving at a same pace, if not faster, in increasing in value. So that was his thesis. And of course, we saw other billionaires and companies started doing the same thing. Even Elon bought Tesla, put Bitcoin on their balance sheet, as well as SpaceX. So he's saying, hold assets. And that is what a lot of retail folks don't understand. Old school mentality. I'll even talk about my parents. Hold it, put the cash under your mattress, leave it in the bank, right? That's the safe place. That was smart to do a long time ago. Now, in this financial climate, not a smart thing to do. You want to put your money in assets. And that's how a lot of wealthy people maintain their wealth and also grow it. You want to put it into real estate or stocks or crypto. And here's what he had to say at the conclusion of that tweet. He said, I still own and won't sell my Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Doge. Those are pretty bullish statements, my friends. Elon doesn't need money. I mean, he's a billionaire, the richest man on the planet, right? So at this point, I think he's really laying a narrative here that it looks like inflation will continue to get worse and that you should be holding assets. And then, of course, he highlights that he's still holding his crypto. So I think we need to read between the lines here. I think things are going to get worse. And from an inflation standpoint, and those who are just holding cash are going to get destroyed and burned. Well, I shouldn't use that language. They're going to get hurt financially, I should say. But if you're holding assets and you're diversified, right, this is certainly a great way to grow your investment, because those assets will increase in price as they continue to print money and inflation increases. So, we are, of course, waiting for Bitcoin's retracement upwards. Could this narrative, with meetings coming with the Fed and the government, would this narrative also play into that retracement where folks are going to start buying Bitcoin and crypto, once again, putting their money into assets And we know the stock market and crypto is highly correlated at this point. So could we be heading upwards? It's certainly a possibility. You know, of course, we can't guarantee that, but pretty solid principles, though, of what Elon is sharing here. It certainly makes sense. You want to put a lot of your cash into assets. Certainly, you want to keep cash for emergencies, paying your bills, and so forth. But you want to have some liquidity. But the ones that versus leaving it in a savings account, it's better you put it in an asset so it grows, as inflation gets worse. So here's what U.S. Senator Cory Booker had to say. Bitcoin and crypto could bring growth to the American economy. What a headline. What a narrative, my friends. And you guys who have been my subscribers and listeners for years, we talked about this, right? This is that new disruptive technology. It's going to create a lot of jobs, a lot of tax revenue, and eventually all of the countries are going to have to capitulate and put in regulations and foster innovation. Look at this right here. You just see more members of Congress are jumping into crypto. They're putting out crypto bills. They're backing it. Pretty exciting times. Speaking of crypto bills, Senator Cynthia Lummis, who I've interviewed on the channel, she's, of course, very bullish on Bitcoin. She said, she introduced a bill which aims to provide a tax exclusion for purchases up to $600 using Bitcoin. She tweeted, "Can you imagine tracking every cup of coffee or hamburger purchase for currency gains or losses at time of transaction? Nightmare. Let Lightning, etc. do its thing." Now, this is significant, guys. This bill would, of course, allow folks to easily spend their Bitcoin and crypto and not have to worry about tax implications. This is a huge, huge part of the adoption of crypto, the on and off ramps, and not having to worry about the taxes. So much respect to her. I'm trying to set up an interview, a follow-up interview, so we can talk about this bill. This is pretty significant, guys. Very bullish, in my opinion. And once again, you just see a whole bunch of people in politics are now on board with crypto. Austin, Texas is exploring to accept Bitcoin as a payment. And here, the mayor of Austin, Mayor Adler, he tweeted out, "Austin is excited to support the businesses and innovations that will turn the promises of Web3, cryptocurrency, and blockchain technology into reality." Guys, game theory is playing out. We see many different states. It started with Miami's Mayor Francis Suarez, then a whole bunch of others, right? Mayor Adler is doing his part. And once again, the theme here, this is the future. It's going to be ingrained in the economy, creating jobs and so forth. So anybody trying to ban crypto, again, they're writing their economic death sentence. And everybody's heading in the same direction here, getting on board the crypto train. All right, let's move ahead. Hunter Horsley, who is the CEO of Bitwise Asset Management. You guys may have seen my multiple interviews with Matt Hogan of Bitwise. Well, today they aired their first full-length TV ad, crypto mass marketing, my friends. Things are moving ahead. And he said, give it a watch, 30 seconds. I'd love to know what you think. I'm not going to play because I don't want copyright issues, but it's a clever ad where some folks are at the restaurant and he's reading a menu of crypto. He doesn't understand it. The waiter comes and says, "Hey, don't worry about it. Invest in Bitwise's index fund. So you don't have to worry about Solana or Bitcoin or that or whatever. You don't have to do it. We'll do it for you." So great ad, and you guys can certainly check it out. But crypto mass marketing, my friends, heating up. Now, Eleanor Tourette of Fox Business, she tweeted out the following today: "I always make a point of reaching out to both the SEC and Ripple for comment when any news breaks in the case. In response to my email from Friday, I received a 'we decline to comment' from the SEC on the decision to deny their motion to strike Ripple's fair notice defense." They must be mad as hell. I know Gary's fuming over there, and their lawyers probably starting to look like idiots. And look, we've talked about it so much. The SEC does not have strong ground to stand on here, and I believe they're going to lose. We already see Gary Gensler going on Jon Stewart, laying the narrative. The SEC loses from time to time, and this big decision where the judge, denied their motion to strike the fair notice defense is significant, not just for Ripple or XRP, but for the entire crypto market. This is huge, and this case has so much implications for the entire market. Now, there's also another case going on with Library, and I personally use the Library platform where my content is distributed there. Well, John Deaton of Crypto Law, he interviewed the founder, Jeremy Kauffman, and he talked about how the SEC, Jeremy did, they're operating like the mafia, right? And they're using these threats and pressure tactics, very shady. This is why Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong tweeted out, the SEC has been acting shady. And they have, guys. They are rotten at the core. It's sad that a government agency has turned out like this. And of course, we've been covering a lot of the conflicts of interest with Bill Hinman and Jay Clayton. So this is pathetic, the SEC, I should say. And I'm glad folks are coming out and speaking out, getting the word out, because the SEC is just, it just seems like it's corrupt at this point. I don't know. Now, obviously, I need to be careful what I say. I don't want, I think, in the public's view, we see a lot of things that don't look right and it looks corrupt, but we don't have hard proof, but we hear from the opinions of folks who are dealing with them. We see the Bill Hinman stuff and the payments and so forth. So just doesn't look good. Now, Algorand, which I'm very bullish on, I hold it in my portfolio. They're making a big push with adoption and partnerships. Well, today they partner with congressional candidate Srina Kurani, and they're partnering with her, and who's partnering with Abris to launch a new collection of climate-focused NFTs on the Algorand blockchain. That's pretty cool. You got a congressional candidate, working to do these things and adopting crypto, blockchain, and building NFTs. That's pretty awesome. And she said, "Thank you, Algorand, for paving the way in sustainable innovation. We deserve leaders in Congress who will support more inclusive and sustainable technology, because that means we are committing to a better and brighter future." Now, this is interesting. How many of you remember Limewire and downloading illegal music and movies, or supposedly, right? We didn't actually do it, but there was Napster, there was Limewire, and a bunch of others. I remember using Limewire, not to download music or movies or anything, right? Just saying I used it, I checked it out. Well, blast from the past, they're back, guys. It's just so interesting. So Limewire has selected Algorand to power the relaunch of its digital collectibles marketplace. Initially focusing on music, the marketplace will enable artists and fans to seamlessly create, buy, and trade a variety of music-related assets. So they're back. Wow. And, they tweeted out here, "We have partnered with Algorand as our official blockchain partner." And they said, why Algorand? It's carbon negative since 2021. Algorand is scalable, fast, and secure, which makes it perfect for NFTs. Consequently, we'll be able to offer free NFT minting. This is awesome. So we'll see where this goes. Nevertheless, it's adoption of Algorand, and it's awesome to see that. And once again, I'm bullish on it, not financial or investment advice. It's obviously a proof of stake blockchain. I have the algo tokens. I'm staking it and earning rewards. So pretty cool that this is happening, guys. And man, so many memories with Limewire. I'm sure many of you do. If you do, leave them in the comment section below. There was actually a meme that I saw today, and I tweeted it out. I'll show you guys here right now. I know those of you on the podcast probably obviously can't see it, but I'll describe it. So it shows Homer Simpson opening the door to a Barney Rubble with a Limewire logo on his face. Barney Rubble is holding a gun, and the text on him is linking park-num.exe. And then Homer's My Family PC. So essentially saying, you tried to download Linkin Park song or some other song, and of course it was a virus, and it just destroyed your PC. It's pretty funny, guys, but funny now. But back in the day, it was not funny, of course. I had some situations like that. So, or I know some people who've had situations like that. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this, and leave your thoughts and comments below. Share this video, and I'll talk to you all later.